Oh, wow. There's Norfolk Southern up there. I'm sure people are like, yeah, Norfolk Southern. What's your point? We get that all the time. Well, let me enjoy this, okay? I don't see NS that often. Please and thank you. Anyway, rant over.
That's a pretty engine.
Yeah, the black ones. Hey, 9096 helped 4141 in the Bush funeral train, or something like that. I just know that it's significant. I guess.
I think they are.
Welcome back to Nature with Train Person. Today we have deer.
The front one is definitely a little guy. Oh, hi, baby.
Don't get too close to the trains now, would you? Please and thank you.
Look at they're having fun.
Operation Lifesaver, look, listen, live.
Oh, that one's coming to the road.
Some, all of them used to be, but now I'd have to say some are not.
Is there a shipping problem with getting parts?
Yes, so some of these locomotives that are. And what we did is after that, we said, oh, we're going to be inspired. We're going to. We're not 50. I'm talking 1970s. So, well, I guess that is almost 50 years. Yes, but you have
What's the purpose of this?
How far back is your background?
Maintenance and
Remember, the first
it really is.
It's many things. This coal train, it started up in the mines in Wyoming, and it could be going to like Kansas City or Texas or Chicago, somewhere.
slow.
So this is like a checkpoint where it'll be refueled, the crews will change, stuff like that. And here come the mid-train helpers.
Stuff like that. 2 weeks ago, I had 2 cars with nuclear rods. Well, they were nuclear rod cars for nuclear waste, but they were empty. Those go to old submarines, and then they change out the rods that are in there. You have to get those especially handled. They look like big silver stainless steel beer cans, but there were special seals on them and everything like that too. So you never know what's coming through there. The railroad certainly does, but you cannot look at some things and say, oh, I know what that is. Yeah, you'll see a stockpile, but again, coal is nothing like rock, so water, heat, sun, anything like that doesn't affect it. Also, they have to dry it before it goes in, you know, to burn and everything like that. So, but you're using it year round. It's not like you only use it in the summer, you only use it in the winter. You're using it year round. You have, you know, air conditioning in the summer, heat in the winter. They tell us that there's 400 years of coal in Wyoming in mines. I tell this to Mr. Biden, 400 years of coal at 150 cars a train, 150 trains leaving every day. 400 years of coal. That's in Wyoming. Just Wyoming. Now, coal is different. Most people don't know this, but there's coal in the east, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. That's very hard coal. We used to use that in Gary, Indiana, Pittsburgh when we made steel. East, as we do from the west, we're blending the coal. Think of you making a fire in a fireplace. You start off with pine because it burns fast, gets the fire going. Then you put in your oak logs or other logs and it keeps it going better. So we're mixing the coals at the power plants so that they have some blend where they have the hard stuff that burns a little longer and the soft stuff that's continually on.
I think from here you can see just how big this thing is.
There's the end coming now, so there's the one push on the back. So.
You can just see how big it is.
Moving, that train's about
Just
3
keeps
miles
going.
long. Now, that would be about 15,000 feet long.
Wow.
Now, the other day we had a 4-mile train come through here. That was 22,000 feet long. So the trains aren't getting longer. That had 11 locomotives.
4-car.
I know, over the
Has no engine guiding it, it just knows where it's supposed to go, I guess.
Now, the locomotive is on the back, pushing the cars up to the top of the hill.
No, I mean the
And
one,
once they get separated, then they go down with gravity into the different tracks based on the computer chip in the car that's telling us what track it should be
now
on.
they're sending them down.
Now, the unique thing here too, while it's being used across all the United States yards, is it's The two locomotives that are pushing the train, there's nobody in them. He's being run with remote control, and that fellow is the person, or lady is the person up at the top of the hill that's uncoupling the cars.
Yeah.
So he's doing two jobs at the same time.
It's just fascinating.
It is.
They don't have to come down one at a time, as you saw, there was 4 of them before. So,
So that's strictly gravity moving them?
correct, well, it's pushed to the hill, and then once it's uncouples, now it's gravity
Now it's
taking it down
going.
the hill.
Those are just
Correct.
going.
Correct.
See, it just slowed that, it slowed that white boxcar down.
Half hour we was up here tonight.
We got you home, we got you there.
Yep. And it's similar, airlines are the same way.
Yeah.
The crews are basically, you're always, not always, but mostly on the same route, same equipment all the time and that. Like in the case of the trains, you have different locomotives, they still do the same pulling, you have different cars, but
Okay,
it's the
so
same,
what's
same
this guy
thing.
doing?
And your 2 and 8 on,
That's
and
what
then
I
always
was
go to
thinking,
the
it's
same
on
place
top one.
because
No,
now
wait.
you know that entire stretch of track, what to watch for, what's happening,
Sure.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a good place to
And
be.
the nice part about the train is this, that, you know, the train keeps moving, the people don't, the train keeps moving. A lot of people think that this is like a bus tour. Some of your areas have a little less people, like, they're doing less in the diesel shop because, you know, it just happens to be because it happens to be a Saturday. So, yes.
Okay.
And if you look at the car with the writing on it, the fellow that's running the 2 locomotives is walking next to the car over there. No, he's gonna bump into it and connect it, because what he's doing, he's starting to build up the train now. Those first 6 cars are the St. Louis cars, let's say.
Okay.
Now he's backing into the Kansas City cars. He's gonna pull back out again, throw another switch, and he's gonna go in to get the Fort Worth, Texas cars. He's gonna pull those out, he's gonna back in and get the North Little Rock, Arkansas cars. So the train is constantly getting bigger till it gets to be about 150 cars.
So that has what, 4?
Those are 2 locomotives.
Just
Yes.
2?
Mhm, Just 2. And they can be run by people standing next to the train or people on the front of the train over here. The other 2 are on a different track. The 2 that are pushing the cars
Oh,
are
I see,
connected.
I see.
This was in the way, I didn't see the other 2, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
okay, should. Some question.
Mhm.
Train had cabooses in it?
Called a fireman. A fireman was for a steam locomotive because you actually had a fire, you were making steam and everything like that. Well, the diesel locomotive doesn't have that, but we never got rid of the fireman. So he actually was getting paid to do basically nothing. You know, here's a couple of,
What is this guy doing?
this guy is getting ready to be sent over to the ready track to be divided into different trains. I would say the first 3 are gonna go on one train and the next 3 are gonna go on a different train. Then we also had 2 people called brakemen on the train. Most of our trains don't stop and set cars
What's
out
that third
anymore.
one?
We
Is that
only
a
do
new
that once
engine?
day
It's a
with one
Kansas
stop.
City Southern, so it's a different
There was
railroad.
only
And so is the blue
brakemen
one,
on
that's
there to help
CSX.
separate the cars and
Kansas City
push it
Southern,
because
I
it
think you can
doesn't
tell
stop.
where
It
it goes by the name.
Yeah.
And
So,
CSX, it's more of an eastern railroad. They're actually the successor to Chassis System.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, CSX, I think I might have told you, the CSX stands for Chassis System Consolidated.
Oh, yes. Cannot turn an engineer, the only.
So the X, I guess, means
Now,
consolidated.
government and some of the
It has a better ring to it than
railroads are trying to squeeze it down
CSC.
to one person,
Well,
which I
those are
use the example,
consolidated
would
like
you
this.
like to fly on a plane with only
Yeah,
one pilot?
yeah.
I certainly wouldn't, you know, so it's the same thing, you know, and not only you're on the ground here, but still, you know, if it starts running away and everything like that, and it starts running away and everything too, so yeah. So we have 2 people and they're holding to that requirement, so.
On the locomotive, they basically have like a mini living quarters there.
No, you have a seat, basically you have a chair.
That's it?
Yeah, there's a bathroom in there too. Let me show you what that looks like.
They got cup holders at least.
Do they have to sleep in them?
No, there's no sleeping. This is your job for 12 hours and then you're done. Yeah, you know, so,
And a lot of coffee.
so,
They never leave.
yeah, and in the front of the locomotive, let's go to this one, it's easier. There's a bathroom here, a little stool, you know, it's for emergency, if you have to go, you go, type thing, and, you know, and that, so, but basically, this is air conditioned, it's got heat in it and everything like that, but you have a seat like I got a chair over there, it's a little bit thicker than that, you know, just because they have one and everything, but, you know, obviously, the better educated you are, the more you know, it's gonna be a lot easier depending on the job you're gonna do.
You train for it, yeah.
So, but then we also send them to a school. You have to go, even if you think you know everything, we still train you because you may think one thing and it's actually not what you're
There's a
thinking.
dangerous cut.
So,
There's a little
the
tiny
engineers
area.
go, each railroad has their own school.
Should
Ours
be
is in Salt
slowing
Lake City,
down.
Burlington, Northern Santa Fe is in Fort Worth, Texas. CSX is in Jacksonville, so they teach you about the same thing.
Yeah, it's
but
slowing down.
Sometimes the railroads have their own individual rules they want you to
Probably
follow.
helps that it was running
So you do
solo.
about 3 months worth of book training.
Because he just
you know,
said
you
there's
read and talk
usually a guy
about things and
standing.
that. Then you do
Yeah,
about 3 months
I think that's the
of
brakeman.
simulator.
He basically just does all the switching work. Either the brakeman or the conductor,
Then they
one of
actually take you
those.
out on it, and you actually run it, and then you have to take your physical test by yourself that you know how to operate what's going on. So. Then they train you on
When
the
they
specific
uncouple,
route, because
Can
you
they
don't
do
just
that remotely
go,
or
they
background?
made a book on it.
Okay.
So they, each of them get the same book. Then you can put your own notes on
That's
there
what I meant.
if you wanna do something different than what's
Right,
out there
right,
then
okay,
too. So,
got it.
mhm.
Got it, good.
Okay, so he's pushing these 6 locomotives now back over, I think it's 7, he added one on there, to the, what we call the ready track. That's sort of the one with the light is on over there. So when you come to work, let's say they're gonna split these 2 into the first 3 and the second 4. They say you got locomotive number 9099. Well, you find that one and there's gonna be 4 more, or 3 more with it. That's because we put the locomotives based on the number of horsepower of the locomotive based on the weight of the train. So you can't come here and say, yeah, but I want that pretty one that's red and yellow and black, you know. Doesn't work that way. Now he's coupled into the Fort Worth cars and we were watching these locomotives, now he's pulling those out.
It's getting bigger
It's
and
gonna
bigger
get
and
longer.
bigger. Yeah.
That's a normal train out over there. Well, their train's ready to depart over there, and they started at that overpass. Ours just started, and they're gonna get taken over here, pick up their locomotives.
All the locomotives are here. These are yellow. They're all yellow.
Then they're gonna go down to the train, go down to the train, so they may not get out of North for 2 hours. So if they had 12 hours, now they only have 10 hours to get to where they're going.
Retirement age, like-
I don't know. I think it's like
Then get
70 or
those
something like that.
You just can't pull out.
That's young.
Any convention.
Well, he did when he was working,
Was it Illinois Central?
no, he
Oh, no,
was.
you said, yeah, that's right, would have been New York Central, coming across, going to sort of towards St. Louis and everything like that.
Well, went up to Peoria,
Okay.
up to Pekin.
Okay?
And then east they went over to Indianapolis, Iowa, and down to Terre Haute.
Yeah.
So, but
That's been a while.
that has been a while, you know.
Yep. You still have that, I think the.
Guess what, RJ?
Well,
Pull up the phone in the car.
Long time ago, early in England,
Go get it.
and the king was near the train station, and they all put the king around on the train, on the locomotive, and like the queen. She was not very thrilled with this, so when they found that out, every time they passed along near the palace, they went too long or short and long to let the queen know that they were thinking. So, that's the federal law, unless the town that you live in puts in what they call a quiet zone, then they have to put a sound on the gate when it goes down, not just the booming of the bells, but then they have to put the sound of the train horn, not very loud though, it's kind of like beeping a car horn, beep, 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 you know, and everything like that. But there has to be a warning other than the flashing lights and the bell, that something is coming on the tracks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Interesting what you said about the horns, because we live right.
He's transporting cars from Detroit.
Go down and get my phone.
New cars.
So I can take a video.
We see them on the highway all the time.
Person at our door.
Heck is that?
What, were they done by train?
They still are. All those big silver and yellow cars here, there's one in that train there, there's 3 or 4 of them, those are all automobiles in there.
Really?
Now, what do you think are in those green boxes? Contaminated soil. Now, 2 weeks ago, I had nuclear rod cars out here from submarines. They take out the rods with the
Wow.
nuclear. And
So that's nuclear
anything
stuff?
you can
Wow.
think of is transported by trains right now. So, other than, like you said, animals and that, because it was just too.
You get finished goods, you gotta have washing machine.
Or
Whole
raw
car.
materials, right, either one. Mhm.
And they could be mixed on
We
the
have
same.
cars of. City Southern on the other side over there. Petroleum products, diesel, gasoline, ethanol,
Okay, now
some
you got
carry
the difference.
chemicals.
Because those look like those pigs that have the white around their
The
center.
white ones, I'd have to see the name on it, but normally, the old days, if it were like there's one white tank completely, that used to be food products like molasses, corn syrup, things like that. But not necessarily today. Okay, so on those, they'd have to see what the placard said on there to try to figure out. I'm almost gonna guess those are more chemicals in those.
I think you gotta put in quarters or something.